If she sends you a boring message online, this is what you can do. And I'm going to be taking you through a real text conversation I had with a girl from online dating. I think this was from Bumble. And she sent me a boring message. And this happens a lot in online dating conversations. So if she sends you a boring message, here's what you can do. Or in reverse, you might just want to really let this soak in so that the next time before you send a message that could be taken as super boring, you might pause, restrain yourself, and reword your text to something a little bit better. And this is all going to be looped under Principle 4, Autopilot Texting. And the idea with that, remember this works for your all online conversations as well, is you want to snap women out of autopilot mode. Like when you're driving in a car and you just kind of daze off and you're in autopilot, you want to snap her out of that autopilot when she's texting you so that she actually stops, thinks, and puts thought energy into your conversation. If she sends you a boring message, and this will happen. I had a girl named Lauren here that sent me an opener on Bumble here, online dating, basically like Tinder. And she just said, "Hey Adam, how's your weekend going?" Now that to me is boring. If you're sending those type of messages and you can't think of anything better, then fine. But as you'll see here, I replied 3 days later because I normally don't even reply to these. They're just too boring for me. And girls that get a lot of messages, if you're going after a girl that gets a lot of messages, just like I get a lot of messages on my account, she's going to do the same thing. She's going to weed through and not answer the boring starts, the boring openers. You'll notice that I took 3 days to reply to her opener. And I'm going to give you a different perspective here. I'm going to try to give you the perspective of what a woman feels like on these sites, on these dating apps. Especially if she's an attractive woman, she's going to have tons of messages from guys. And even if she's not like a super attractive woman, she's going to have more messages from guys than you probably do from women. And so in this instance, right, I took 3 days to reply because I get so many openers from women and so many messages that if I don't feel like it was a clever, like if she didn't take me out of autopilot, if I just pull out my Bumble or my Tinder and I just see an opener and it just like passes by me. It's the same as every other one. How was your weekend? Or it's just like, even if she tries way too hard, then I just go, ugh. It's kind of that. It's either boring or the chase is already over. So I won't even message those women back. And that might be happening to you if women aren't messaging you back or they're unmatching you when you message them. There's a lot of reasons for this. But think about this. Think of if you were in the middle of a crowded mall and you were just walking through the mall. And think if every person in that mall that walked by you tried to get your attention. Just think about that for a moment. Just think you're walking and every couple steps you got 10 people trying to get your attention by saying something to you. Think about how somebody would stand out. Of course, yeah, somebody that's really attractive might stand out, so your pictures matter about how you display yourself, but that's only a small factor. What a lot of it is going to be is somebody that gets your attention in a different way, and that is Principle 4, snapping her out of autopilot mode. This message she sent me is the same as hundreds of other messages that I get from women of asking almost the exact same thing. How is your weekend going? Now, again, I teach in Swipe Right, my online dating course, different ways to open women or different ways to use her profile as a way to start a conversation because now she has engagement in it. So you can go through her pictures, find something in her pictures to message her about. That will stand out because now you're including her in your conversation. So if you start off a message and you tell her your whole life story, She doesn't care about you yet. You're just a random stranger walking by her in the mall. She doesn't care about your life story because she doesn't even know if she really wants to even talk to you yet. So your whole life story, that's a bad way to do it. Other guys will message me and they'll ask me, hey Adam, what do you think about my opener? I took this really expensive online dating course and this guy gave me this opener to use. And they'll send some really like try-hardy opener or some really sexual opener, and it's just a horrible idea. It doesn't work. Those are the guys that are trying to teach you the lazy way. They're trying to give you one line that will, magically make her fall in love with you, and that literally doesn't work either. Again, I can't tell you the entire way to message a girl in this one small video. That's why it's in the course, so watch it. Go watch Swipe Right, really understand that, and then everything else in the online dating will get easier. But again, I took 3 days because this was boring to me. It put me into autopilot and I forgot about her. And then later down the road, I was finally like, okay, I guess I'll message her back now. I don't know when, like 3 days later, I had like a moment where I was just like bored or something. I was just like, all right, whatever, I'll respond now. So there you go. That's just a little incentive for you to try to really think and strategically message instead of just splat something out there. Now, if a woman gives you a boring opener, then here's how you do it. Right here in this case, I said, better once you give me that cute dog from your profile pic, smiley face. Obviously, she had a dog in her profile picture, and this was a way for me to turn it from boring, how's your weekend going? Mine's going good. How's yours? Blah, blah, blah. No one really cares. From that to at least me changing it to something different about her dog or about that profile picture. And I'm teasing her because I'm saying better once you give me that dog. It's just like a little tease. And there's an example right there of using her profile to spice up the conversation, to get it rolling. You don't have to do that every single time, but to get it starting out on the right foot, and then you can really get all 5 principles in action. Then she starts to think about you more as a guy overall, and then everything else also becomes easier. But right there, I just used something, her dog in her picture. That personalized it for her. It wasn't like, oh, my weekend's good. How's your weekend? Like every other guy is asking her at that exact same moment on Tinder or Bumble or whatever. And just as a side note, before you get back to the video, check it out. It's right there. Yeah, okay. Harry Potter books, you see those up there? Right here, I have a question for you. If you were in a Harry Potter house, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin, what would you be and why? Comment below and tell me just for the fun of it. Or if you don't even know what Harry Potter is, whatever, ignore it. We'll get back to the video. But I right here am Team Slytherin. Honestly, my personality doesn't really fit Slytherin, but since everybody hates on Slytherin, nobody likes Slytherin. From a young age, I was always Team Slytherin because I'm a guy that roots for the underdogs. So tell me what your house is below and why. And then right here, as you can see, not only did she say, she responded, I would share, but probably put up a fight to give him away. He's the best pup. Do you have any dogs? And then again, she was like, shoot, he waited 3 days to reply the first time. So she sent it once. She sent it again to get my attention. She just did the classic like double text or double send. There's another example of if somebody starts it out boring, that does not mean you have to keep it boring. Try to spice it up, change the subject to something that she will have fun talking about and that you and her will kind of have a conversation that most other guys wouldn't have with her online. As a last note about this video, and this is all I kept, and you probably saw this was from 2016. Well, it's 2018 right now, but I'm going back through and trying to remake some of my older videos to make them more clear and really focus them in on 1 or 2 specific principles. And I have tons more examples. I'll keep making them. But anyway, I didn't keep any more from this conversation, but I honestly don't think I replied to her because At the end there, she double texted. She sent that text and then resent it again. And that doesn't fool anybody. So if you think about doing that to, let's say that you send a text to a girl and you go, oh, I really want her to reply, but I know I probably shouldn't send her another text before she texts me. And so you go, maybe I'll just resend that text to make it seem like maybe she didn't get the text, and now when she gets it again, she'll reply. But again, that fools nobody. The girls on the other end know what you're doing, and then they go, oh, this guy is being needy. He needs me to respond to this. And then it starts to feel like a chore for her to respond. And that's how I was feeling here. When she sent it again, I was just like, if I didn't reply the first time, resending it doesn't help the case. That just shows me that you are impatient right now and that you're going to be needy. And again, I don't want, this is probably a cool girl. I never met her. I don't want to what do you call it? Put her down for her conversation right here, because women aren't used to opening as much or keeping conversations going with guys. But I am trying to just give you the perspective, the mindset, and really just give you a neutral look at this in what really happens and why it happens. So again, she could be a really, really cool girl. It's just that, and you could be a really, really cool guy. But if your messaging, or if the way you display yourself over texting or online dating, if that sends a message that turns a girl off, then it's the texting or the online dating skills that you have that are turning her off, not you as a guy. And so it's same thing with this girl. She could be awesome, but what she portrayed at me through online dating, I just wasn't into. And so when you get better at that skill, when you keep on practicing, keep on learning, then what happens is you start to get matches and they go somewhere because you get better and better. And really just think about this one more time. If you match with a girl, if she matches with you and then it goes nowhere, just realize she matched with you. That means she goes, okay, I'll give him a shot here. She swiped right when she could have just as easily swiped left. So therefore, when you know that, if you've gotten a match from a girl and it went nowhere, then it wasn't that she didn't like you, she didn't like your appearance or whatever. It was she didn't like how you messaged her. So we can just fix that up real quick and you'll have a lot better success. But again, principle 4, autopilot texting, you want to take them out of zombie mode. Take them out of autopilot and make them think about your conversation. But in order to do that, you have to stop, take yourself out of autopilot, and think about a better message to send than what you had been sending in the past. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe. Peace.